week on The Lead, we take a look at a sci-fi author who inspires teens at Hebron.
And the Colony High School's new Japanese language program. All this and more coming up. Hello, I'm Hannah Wee.
And I'm Destiny Paxton, and this is The Lead. Listen up, Lewisville High School. If you are wondering what working after high school and college is like, make sure to stop by the Career Expo. A variety of businesses will be set up on March 24th at 11:30 during lunch, 3rd and 4th period, and then after school until 5 p.m. Employees from different industries will be there to answer any questions, and there will be opportunities to make connections with them. The expo will be on Monday right after spring break, so be sure to set a reminder. If you need help with resumes and interview tips for the expo, stop by room F102.
Are you tired of the typical cafeteria food? Well, Lewisville students are in luck. An In-N-Out food truck is driving to your campus tomorrow, Friday the 13th. Tickets are $5 and ROTC students will be selling them during lunch. These tickets will get you a combo meal which includes a bag of chips, a cheeseburger, and a soft drink. You do not want to miss out on this event.
Now we'll head over to Hebron, where the freshman class had the opportunity to meet the author of the acclaimed Proxy and Black Wings beating series, Alex London.
Simona Sayed has a story.
Author Alex London paid a visit to Hebron 9 while in town for the North Texas Teen Book Festival, where he shared his journey to becoming a novelist and engaged with his readers.
I think Ms. Whiteley had heard from another school district that had brought them in to speak to their middle school or high school students and said that he'd done a really good job of talking about the writing process, and that was one of our goals.
Students who attended expressed how his story moved them and how it was distinctive from other authors and writers.
Some authors, they try to sell their books and not talk about how they got to it or how they developed as an author. But Alex London, he talked more about how he developed as an author and how books helped him through his childhood, and I thought that was really unique.
With our workshop that he did with us, it was all just very eye-opening to the amount of things that go on into writing and the setting alone and just the environment. Taking that into account will help a lot. Just with life, everything he said was very applicable to all areas of life, not just writing and reading, which I felt was really cool.
Also during his talk, London explained the importance of narratives and the impact of stories featuring teen characters.
Generally, whether you want to be a writer or not, I truly believe that stories are the only infinitely renewable resource that humans have, and stories change the world in ways big and small. So I think connecting with each other through stories and sharing stories and telling each other's stories helps us all see each other as a little more human than maybe we did before.
Whether it's an Instagram story or Twitter thread, there are so many ways to share your story, no matter how old you are or what happens in your life. For The Lead, I'm Simona Sayed.
Attention Marcus seniors, Marcus PTSA is offering scholarships to the 2020 graduating class. To apply, you must already be a member of the PTSA, and in your application, there should be evidence of school and community involvement, motivation, and a desire to succeed. The deadline to apply is Friday, March 27th, so if you're interested, be sure to check it out in the description box below.
It's almost time for the Faculty vs. Seniors basketball event. The game will be on Thursday, April 9th, so if you want to play, make sure to sign up before spots run out. It will be a great way for students and teachers to enjoy their half day. If you like to just watch, be sure to buy a ticket.
The Colony High School has opened up a new language class this year, and the Cougars are excited for it.
Joe Stanford had the chance to learn more.
You may have taken Spanish, German, or Latin at your home campus to fill in that required foreign language. But at the Colony High School, there's a class making LISD history.
I started learning Japanese in kindergarten. I majored in Japanese, and then I went to Japan. I studied abroad in Japan twice, and then I worked in Japan twice. And for the past 2 years before I came to TCHS, I was teaching English in Japan.
I got a chance to talk to some of the students about what they thought made the class special.
Well, it's really fun. The teacher is really great. She lived there for at least 2 years, so she has a lot of experience and she knows how to teach us the grammar, and she uses Japanese for most of the class, so we can get used to hearing it.
Yeah, we just put on headphones that have a microphone on them and then like talk to each other in Japanese. It helps with like the verbalization to help you like just how to say the words, because if you're just like writing them, you don't really know how to say them as well as if you're actually speaking the words.
We do exercise in the class, and we do events like usually on Wednesdays after school. We did takoyaki, which is like octopus and like eggs.
Students who took the class said it's fulfilled their reasons for taking it.
I decided to take Japanese class because I thought it would be fun to learn a new language. I thought that Japanese would be a better challenge. Since I want to move to Japan, a good start to getting used to like the Japanese language.
With other schools considering adding this to their curriculum, it may be something to look out for in the future. For The Lead, I'm Joseph Standifer.
Attention Hebron juniors and seniors, prom tickets can get pretty expensive, but you can enter a drawing to win 2 free passes to prom. PTSA is selling tickets for the drawing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during lunch until March 27th. Individual tickets are $5, but if you buy 5 tickets, you can get them for $20.
Congratulations to the 11 LISD students for making it to Vase State. This year, the state competition will be April 24th and 25th at San Marcos High School. Those 11 students will find out whether or not they will be awarded a gold seal medallion. Good luck to all the state qualifiers.
Last week, the TECC-E's architecture students presented their end of the semester project.
Blake Rawls has more on the story.
And so the big picture of mine. For their midterm grade, Practicum architecture students were tasked with designing a building of their choice and presenting it in front of established architects. 2 students discussed what they loved about this project and its preparations.
In Practicum 2, we get basically free reign. We talk to the teacher like once a week, maybe. So I get to do the design process how I've developed it. I like this project because I really get to express what I want in my own way.
For the overall project, it was about 6 weeks in preparation of drawings and model making, and I do feel proud of what I did because it had a lot of details on it that were very hard to do on the computer software.
The established architects act like judges during these presentations. Landscape architect Barbara Peterson talks about her role as a judge.
I have been volunteering here with the program for 5 or 6 years. I've found listening to the students that it is helpful. The program and being able to talk to people like me and architects and anybody in the design and construction field.
Building and designing these projects is one thing, but presenting your ideas to professionals is another.
It's not the worst. It's pretty fun. It's a little nerve-wracking, but it helps you get good feedback on your work.
I always kind of get the butterflies before I get on because it's like, what if they don't like it or if I say something wrong?
This is hard. Standing up in front of people, even as grown-ups, standing in front of clients and explaining your idea because you don't know if somebody's going to like your idea, not like your idea. I really admire the fact that they can get up there and stand up here and not panic.
What these students learn from this project will prepare them for the real world and improve their skills as architects. For The Lead, I'm Blake Rawls.
Job Olympics is a competition created to promote the employability skills for high school students in special education. Last Thursday at Lakeview Middle School, all 5 LISD high schools got together after weeks of preparation. Competitions encompass key vocational topics like how to complete job applications and how to interview. Community and school leaders, local business representatives, and volunteers served as judges at the event.
Over the past weekend, high schools in our district competed in the UIL theater competition. Flower Mound, Marcus, Hebron, and Lewisville all advanced to the next round. They will continue to compete for district this upcoming Saturday on the 14th at Flower Mound High School.
Seems like our district is really stepping up their game for fine arts.
Yeah, I definitely agree. After a word from our sponsor, I'll be sitting down with the principal from Marcus High School on a new edition of Icebreaker.
And in sports, we'll take a look at soccer standings, a player of the week from track, and the Marcus tennis team. Stay tuned to The Lead.
This episode of The Lead is sponsored by Chick-fil-A. Visit any of their locations around the LISD area and eat more chicken.
This is Icebreaker, where we get an inside scoop on our principals. Today I'm here with Principal Skelton from Marcus High School. How are you today, Mr. Skelton?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So you have a bowl of ice cream here. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, so I chose Rocky Road because that's just what I've even eaten ever since I was a kid. My mom and dad always had it in the house, and so it's always just been a favorite for me.
Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good. If you could eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would that be?
Steak.
Ooh, I like steak. I could do that too. And what was your high school mascot?
I grew up in Terrell, and we were the Terrell Tigers.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have any, like, a trend that you did in high school that you regret now?
Like fashion? Fashion trend. Well, when I was in high school, the tight roll was pretty popular, and that's where you take, and it's kind of coming back. I've seen it a little bit lately, but for a long time it was not popular, but I definitely did that. And back then we also wore penny loafers with no socks, if you can imagine how that looked. So,
I don't want to.
It was popular at the time, though.
All right. Who is your favorite artist or band?
Well, one of my favorite artists is James Taylor. He's a folk singer, and that's definitely, I think, well, I'll just go with him as my favorite. I think he's a great storyteller.
Okay. Out of all the places that you've traveled to, what has been your favorite place?
Oh, let's see. So my wife's family has, she has some family up in upstate New York, and so we've been able to go up there several times, since we've been married, and so it's just really pretty up there. It's really cool. We go in the summer, so it's cool in the morning. It doesn't get too hot, and it's really beautiful up there, and we take the family, so I'd say upstate New York in the Catskill Mountains.
Yeah, I love New York too. What is one movie that you could watch over and over again?
One movie that I could watch over and over and over again. Let's come back to that one. Sorry, I don't have, maybe I can edit that out.
Okay.
I'll have to think of a better answer on that.
And lastly, do you have any life tips that you picked up during your time as a principal?
I do. I think just as far as life tips, it's really important for educators to always to make all of our decisions based on what's right for the students every time, while serving our staff and taking care of them. But I think, and maybe I didn't learn this during my time as principal, but just a lesson that my mom and dad taught me early on, which was just always do the right thing. Even if you think it's not popular, whatever's the right thing is something that you can always live with when you make decisions.
Right on. Okay, so we're actually gonna go into our rapid pace part of this, and I'm gonna ask you a few either or questions at a rapid pace. Okay. So, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Caramel or caramel?
Caramel.
Movies or books?
Ooh. I'd say movies. I love both, but I'd have to go with movies.
Okay. Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Night or morning person?
Night.
Country or rock?
Rock.
Sweet or sour?
Sweet.
Hot weather or cold weather?
Hot.
Fruits or vegetables?
I'd have to say vegetables.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Samsung or Apple?
Apple.
Basketball or football?
Okay. I like to play basketball, but I like to watch football.
Understandable. Vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Pancakes or waffles?
I'll go waffles.
Okay. And oceans or mountains?
Mountains.
And then city or countryside?
Country.
Okay. So before we close out this, do you have anything going on at Marcus that you would like to shout out? Any group or any person?
Oh, sure. I'd like to give a shout out to all of our students that are in spring sports right now. Okay. They're in the middle of their seasons. Definitely our Circle of Friends Club is something that we really take a lot of pride in at Marcus. And then all of our, we're real proud of all of our National Merit finalists and our fine arts kids that excel at what they do.
Okay, congratulations to them. And thank you, Principal Skelton, for joining me today. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Icebreaker. Coming up, we'll take a look at sports news from all around the district.
You're watching the Lead Sports Update with Kellen Croxton.
Welcome back to the Lead Sports Update. This week we're taking an in-depth look at soccer as the regular season is winding down and the playoffs are just about to start. So, starting that off, we have some highlight footage of the Soccer Mound showdown between the Marauders and the Jaguars. The Jags came into this game a big underdog to the First and State Marauders, and after a slow start in the game, the Marauders scored first at 29 minutes in. After the first goal, we didn't get another until late in the second half, where Sam Code gets a nice corner shot to make the score 2-0. Late in the game, the Jags started to play very aggressively to compensate for the deficit. However, this led to more penalties than goals. When the Jags finally did get a penalty kick late in the game, it ended up being stopped by the Marauders, ending this game 2-0. Marcus continuing the disappointing season for the Jags and impressive state run for the Marauders. Now moving on to our soccer standings, let's start off with the guys soccer standings. So Marcus is the top of our guys soccer standings, and they're first in state and 18th in the nation. This is setting them up for a strong playoff run, and this could lead to a possible second year in a row for LISD to win the state title after Flower Mound won it last year. Lewisville and Nimitz are also fighting for this final playoff spot as the other top three are decided, and the Colony is at 5-3-3 down in 5A. Moving on to the girls' standings, the top 4 teams are very close together between Flower Mound, Marcus, Capel, and Hebron. And the other teams, such as Lewisville, are falling down behind, and the Colony is 8-2-1 over in 5A. And moving on to our player of the week, our Ellisman player of the week is Flower Mound runner Joseph Kelsey. Joseph competed at the Prosper Dan Christie Relays, where he placed first in the 800 meters with a time of 1:57. He also got 7th in the 400 meters with a time of 51:69. Moving on to some tennis news, this past weekend, the Marauder tennis team did very well at the prestigious Hearst Invitational. The team was very strong overall, with individuals placing in 7 of the 8 divisions. Their teamwork was so solid across the board that they were able to win the championship trophy, an impressive feat at such a competitive tournament. Great teamwork and great job, Marcus Tennis. And Lewisville Sports Media will be covering the Colony versus Braswell softball game, where Sports Day High School Preseason Player of the Year Jada Coleman and the Cougars will be taking on the Bengals at the Colony on March 31st at 7 p.m. That's it for all this episode's sports news. For more sports updates, make sure to check out our new segment, Sports Overtime, where we cover more scores and stories on our Twitter. Now back to Destiny and Hannah at the news desk.
Let's jump into this week's Twitter contest.
Last week, we asked you to tell us the top song on the Billboard chart. This week's winner is Anthony King from Hebron High School. Congrats, Anthony. You just won free food from Chick-fil-A. Missed out this time? Don't worry, because you have another chance.
This week, we want you to find our posters hanging up in your campus and take a picture with at least one of them. Message us on Twitter or Instagram, and you'll be entered for a free gift card.
If you want to know more about what's happening in the district or have a story you want to see covered, follow us on Twitter at LICTheLead or email us at licthelead@gmail.com. For the lead, I'm Hannah Wee.
I'm Destiny Paxton. Have a safe spring break.